Good afternoon. So this topic is on FSSAI, that is Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. So it is a federal agency. FSSAI is a federal agency. So federal agency is nothing but it is related to the government. Now this FSSAI lays down certain standards to regulate the manufacturing, the storage of the food, the distribution of the food, the sale and the import of the food. It also ensures that the food is safe and wholesome in all the nutrients for human consumption. So that is the role of FSSAI. So this FSSAI comes under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So this Food Safety and Standard Act, which we call it as FSS, was developed in 2006. So basically this act helps in the formulation and enforcement of the food safety standards. That means it forms the rules and it tells the industries that they have to follow this particular rules when it comes to safety of the food. It helps in protecting and promoting the public health by regulating the standards for food safety. Now this FSSAI is headed by the chairperson. So the main person is the chairperson, which is appointed by the central government. And then comes the Chief Executive Officer for FSSAI. So currently it is Rajesh Bhushan who is the chairperson and Arun Singhal is the Chief Executive Officer. Now the headquarters of FSSAI is in New Delhi, but there are regional offices in Delhi, Guwahati, Mumbai, Kolkata, Cochin and Chennai. Also there are laboratories in state. There are 72. In all over the India there are 14 important which we call it as referral laboratories of FSSAI. And also there are 112 laboratories which are accredited by NABL. NABL is the National Accreditation Testing and Calibration Laboratories. So this also NABL comes under FSSAI. Now the main benefits what industry gets because of the FSSAI is the different standards for manufacturing, then handling, packaging and selling of the food items. So there are different standard regulations or laws given when it comes to manufacturing of the food, handling of the food, packaging and selling of the food items. Now this FSSAI has to grant a license to the restaurants as well as to the industry if they want to sell their product in the market. If they don't have the license of FSSAI, that means they are not supposed to sell the food products in the market. Now there are 5 regions, that is the North region which is the head office in New Delhi, then Eastern region, Northeastern region, Western region and Southern region. So what are the objectives of FSSAI? To provide safe and wholesome food which contains all the nutrients. Also it lays down the certain safety standards so that the industries can follow it. It also lays standard for manufacturing, import, storage, distribution and safety and also the sale. Also it creates the infrastructures of the laboratories to test the certain food products and also to give license to the food industries. Also it deals with the sanitary measures. Now there are certain rules which comes under, or certain acts which comes under FSS Act. Now this FSS Act is a combination of all the rules or all the acts. So the first act is Prevention of the Food Adulteration Act 1954, Fruit Product Order 1955, Meat Food Product Orders 1973, Vegetable Oil Product Order 1947, Edible Oil Packaging Order 1988, Solvent Extracted Oil, De-oiled Meal and Edible Flour Order 1967, and Milk and Milk Product Order 1992. So all this act combined together will form FSS Act. So this act are usually given to the different food products. Now what are the powers of FSSAI? So to frame the regulation, so to frame the laws to ensure safe food, to give guidelines to the laboratories for the testing of the food. Also it gives advice and technical support for the central government, contributing to the development of the international technical standards. It also helps in the formation of standards for the international standards of food. Also it helps in collecting the data regarding the food consumption, then contamination of the food, what are the risks related to certain foods, disseminating information and promoting awareness about the food safety and nutrition to the whole people in India. So it also helps in protecting and promoting the public health. Now this Food Safety and Standard Act 2006 so every food business operator should contain this certificate or license from FSSAI. Now there is a procedure for licensing and registration of this FSSAI, and also there are certain requirements. Now what is the importance of this particular license? It is a mandatory. Mandatory means it is a compulsion that whatever food industries should have this particular license if they want to sell their product in the market. So if a food business operator is starting a new industry and if it wants to sell the product, then it is the first thing is to get a certificate from FSSAI. The first one is the legal advantage. What is the legal advantage if you have this FSSAI license? So if you have an FSSAI license, that means the food is safe and it is safe for human consumption and there is no harm to consume that particular food. So if the food business operator does not have the license and if they try to sell their product, that means they are going to get penalty. Second advantage is to increase the customer base. The FSSAI number is considered as a label of trust for the consumers. So the consumers will obviously buy the product only if they have the FSSAI mark on that particular food product. It ensures that the food business operator is authorized to carry out business and it regularly scrutinized by the food safety authority. So it also identifies or it also tells the consumer that it is a authorized food product and also it has followed all the laws regarding the food safety. So if there is a food safety FSSAI mark, that means it will attract lot of people to purchase that particular product. Third one is business expansion. A food license provides the food business with the opportunity of expansion. Also, it will help the food business operator to expand their business. For example, an entrepreneur may open a chain of outlets of his food business in different states if he has obtained an FSSAI central license. So if he has a central license, then only he can expand his business in different states. So there are different licenses such as the central, the state license. So if a person has a central license, that means he can expand the business throughout the country. If it is a state license, that means he can expand within the state. Also, this FSSAI license can help the food business operator to receive loans from the bank, also fundings from the bank, because it will give an assurity for the banks also that this industry is FSSAI licensed and certified. So there are three types of licenses. That is the basic license if the turnover is 12 lakhs. If it is state license, it has to be 12 lakhs to 20 crores. And central license, the turnover should be above 20 crores. So these are the three types of licenses. Now what are the procedures for registration of the FSSAI license? So first is you have to fill the application. The application form the fees will be 100 rupees. Then the application will get processed. Then the grant of the registration certificate will happen within the 7 days of the application. And after the grant of the registration certificate happens, there will be an inspection from the FSSAI, which will be within the period of 30 days. So if at all there is no response from FSSAI after forwarding the application, that means the business operator can start the business. So that is all about FSSAI. Thank you.